Hello everybody, my name is Brianna Bilo and I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service office in Grand Junction, Colorado. And this is your August 2023 monthly climate summary. So starting off for our story of the month, we have the Yampa funnel cloud. So the month of August was characterized by a rather unsettled pattern. We finally started seeing something a bit more monsoon-like than we had seen in July. And with these just this increase in unsettled and stormy conditions, we started to see some stronger storms producing things like hail and gusty winds, and we did in fact also see this lovely little funnel cloud, which surprisingly enough on the radar, this really just looked like a silly little tiny shower. There was no indication at all that it was producing a lovely little funnel cloud like this until we started receiving reports from various people in the area, including Lee Rushton, who was the one who sent us this photo, and it is a gorgeous photo. From what we could see of the storm, there was really not much rotation in it, so likely this funnel cloud formed by the just sort of, the term is called vorticity. It's basically just spinning in the atmosphere, and it can be caused by air moving around obstructions, such as wind moving around hills or mountains. And so likely that was the generation for the rotation in this thing, and it just got sucked up into this little shower's updraft and produced this lovely little funnel cloud. And it is just a funnel cloud. There's no indication here that it touched the ground at any point. So it by definition cannot be classified as a tornado or a landspout or anything, but it is still pretty cool. And this is, again, I have to say, just a gorgeous photo. Very photogenic little storm. So moving on, August high temperatures. Our highest high for the month was 101 here in Grand Junction on August 17th. And our coolest high for the month was 87 in Aspen on the 20th and the 21st of August. And you can kind of see that these temperatures were more or less, the highs were clustered towards the end of the month. You see a lot of 17s, you see a lot of 20s. Not quite as cohesive as July, where just pretty much everybody had their highest temperature on July 17th, but still you can kind of tell that the end of the month definitely started trending a little bit warmer. Moving into our low temperatures here for August, our warmest low was in Grand Junction on the 9th with 57 degrees, and our coolest low occurred in Craig on the 9th and on the 31st with a low of 39. So definitely starting to see those temperatures dip down a little bit. Although you can kind of tell that the beginning of August was the cooler period, with most of these temperatures clustered within the first week or so of the month, with the exception of Craig getting down to 39 again on the 31st. Looking at precipitation, better than the overall seasonal totals. We had about half and half above and below, with our big winner here being Meeker with just over half an inch above normal at 1.88 inches total for the month. And at the bottom here we have Vernal coming in with just 4/10 as a total and almost 4/10 below normal. So about half of what they would have are supposed to see based on climatic normals. But these really ranged from anywhere to about an inch below here in Aspen to that just over half an inch in Meeker above. So really pretty spotty, and that's not unusual considering the pattern we had, sort of monsoonal, stormy. You get under one of these good rain producing showers and you could see your entire month's total in about an hour or two. You end up somewhere that just doesn't see any precipitation, and you can end up well below normal. It's a little tough, it's a little goofy, but that's what it is. So it is nice to at least see half of these sites coming in at above normal for the month, though. Definitely much nicer compared to what we saw in July. Looking at our drought update, unfortunately, with the spotty nature of the precipitation we saw in August, combined with the very dry July, we have actually seen the drought develop and in some cases worsen across pretty much the entire southern half of the county warning area. We have some pockets of D2 severe drought showing up here across the southern border of our area, and then again sort of in the Gunnison Valley here near Delta and Montrose, Gunnison and Uncompahgre. We also have just this sort of wide swath of D1 moderate drought, and then surrounding that, this D0 category of abnormally dry conditions. And I've said this before in other videos, and I will say it again, the D0 is not considered a drought category for the sake of things like the monthly drought outlook. It is more, I like to think of it as a drought watch, i.e. conditions are starting to develop where you could very easily develop a D1 drought condition, but at the same time, it's only abnormally dry, so you get a decent amount of rain over a consistent period of time. Reverse that, you get a consistent amount of rain over a decent period of time, and you could easily also get rid of the D0 conditions. So that kind of plays into why on the drought outlook map you have just this area here showing drought persisting, and that's because it corresponds to these areas where there's, D1 and D2, and the areas in yellow where it says drought development likely correspond roughly to the areas in abnormally dry conditions. So at least the southern half of the area, the Climate Prediction Center is leaning towards, there we go. The Climate Prediction Center, their forecast is leaning towards the idea that these D0 conditions across much of the southern half of the area will tip over into a D1 condition and become officially a drought condition. Looking at the outlook for September, and this kind of plays into why the Climate Prediction Center is thinking that way about the D0 areas, is that they are leaning towards above normal temperatures across pretty much all of eastern Utah and western Colorado for the month, as well as only showing equal chances of above or below normal precipitation. So areas kind of to the east, so looking at eastern Utah, are probably a little bit more favored to see above normal precipitation, just because they are closer to this slight leaning towards above normal precipitation in Nevada and the rest of Utah and some of Arizona, while areas to the east in western Colorado, I hope that got that right, are leaning probably a little bit more towards this below normal precipitation, leaning over here, and even some of the CWA areas, such as like around Pagosa Springs, are actually in this slight leaning towards below normal precipitation for the month. But the vast majority of the area is looking at equal chances, so we really just kind of have to wait and see how this all falls out. And so that's it for the month of August summary. The summer seasonal climate summary will be posted at roughly the same time, so if this is something that interests you and you want to see more of an overview of the whole summer season, so June, July, and August, go check that video out. If you really enjoy these monthly summaries, there's a back catalog if you want to learn about past weather, or you can just stick around. I post these. The monthly summaries get posted pretty much every month, schedule dependent on when, and the seasonal summaries go up every 3 months with the end of meteorological seasons. So the next seasonal summary will go up probably in December to cover September, October, and November. And if you like more of a nice glossy written up version, there will be a link in the video description that will take you to the summary write-up for the seasonal and the monthly summaries. So if you stuck around, thanks. I really appreciate it. And I will see you again in a month.